gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
Here we go. Can you hear me now? Here we go. What is up, Raider Nation? What is up, Raider Nation? This is the Cage Match, episode 52. We
made a year.
We made a year, baby. We made a year. Who would have thought this little show that could will make it a year? Oh yeah, you know, it's called consistency, and that's the one thing that we made sure we did, because we did have another idea for an episode this week, but due to personal matters with the person that we were going to have on, we had to switch gears, and like all good offenses do, like all good teams do, like we are.
We did Omaha.
We had to Omaha and find out a way to Audible, and here we are. We switched gears, did a whole new offense, and now here we are. The cage match continues. And also, speaking of continues, hello, Anna. You are also continuing because you've been on every episode. And you know who else has been on every episode? Asylum, Mr. Jim Otto himself. How you doing, Asylum? It's been a crazy day today, but we made it. How you doing?
Yeah, you know, it's been a crazy day, you know. Went from studying one playbook to having to scrap that one and create. You know what? I kind of feel like, you know, we just fired McDaniels, and, you know, I got thrown into the game here. Now we got a whole new playbook. We're trying to put it together as we go.
Hello, Elise. Hello, sister, and hello, godmother. Wait, there you go. Hello, godmother. Thank you. The anniversary of the cage match. We did 52 episodes, and we're getting
we've done more than 52.
Oh, yeah, well, yes.
We did 52 straight weeks.
Yes, in our main episode, our main day on Wednesday. Yeah, we did an episode.
Some of us has been here for everyone. Others are, you know, he's still in training, guys. That's all. You know, we'll get him taught up right, and next year he'll make all the episodes.
All the episodes. I missed a couple due to personal reasons, also. So
yeah, very good reasons. Yes.
Yes. But we as a show keep pushing forward. And well, speaking of the show, let's do our favorite part, Shameless Plug.
Shameless Plug. All right, if you go to YouTube, The Cage Match Show. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe, give the thumbs up, hit that little bell so you know every time that a video drops. If you don't do YouTube, you can catch us on Facebook at the Oakland Raiders Savage page or the Asylum page. And go ahead, like, share. If you're into it, give stars. Anything to help us continue showing that you want us to make this content, we'll keep making it. And then don't forget our sponsor, Debbie. Go to WGG, put in your order. I believe you get the shaker now if you get a package. When you go to checkout, in the discount code, put Cage Match, one word, and you get 10% off your whole order.
And like we always say, when you think of wins, you think of dubs. And when you think of dubs, think of Dubby. Get the energy like Max Crosby. That is Cage Match, one word, into the discount code of the W.GG, triple OG, double.GG. And also to the compa, Fabian, go to www.r and the number 4 lifer.com, RaiderNationForLifer.com, to get great merch that he makes himself. And I'm telling you, it's great stuff. And if you need an example, I only wear hats made and distributed, and all the other big words that they use in companies and businesses and all that, directly from the man himself, the compa Fabian. So go to that website. He made our koozies and he made our lanyards, which I have a lanyard right now. Oh, there's the koozie right there. So make sure that, and for the people that we promised, we will get those shipped out soon, because someone like Anna, who's been on every episode, she deserves a lanyard and a koozie. And my sister, we're trying to figure out what that special little
I was going to say,
prize,
you want a little special gift. So you
that
can send it
special
on.
gift, yes, that we want to dedicate to Anna for being on every single episode. And also remember, the man who helped us get through every week, all 52 weeks, RaiderMan19.com, the Raiderman from Richmond podcast will be coming up soon. Make sure you go to that website, get his merch. It's the Oath merch. And when you speak of the Oath, of course, our goal is to have Raiderman do the Raider Oath. You hear it at the end of our episode intro, right in the beginning. You hear him at the end with Marquette King doing the Oath. Imagine him doing that in front of 65,000 people at the stadium, Allegiant Stadium, on the home opener. That will kick off the new Raider Way, or bring back the old mystique for the new Raider Way. Raiderman, shouts out to Raiderman, who has always been there, a big part of this episode, a big part of this show. So thank you, Raiderman. That's what we're trying to do. And of course, hold on, I want to show the koozies and the lanyard. Here's the lanyard. Thank you, Fabian, the lanyard. All right. And the koozie. Make sure you scan that code. Scan that code. Subscribe. That's how we do it. All right. And remember, it's still the off season, so we will be breaking down all the dates. Of course, training camps opens up at Costa Mesa. The rookies are going to report very soon. What is that, a Sunday? No, that's Monday. This coming Monday, and then the veterans start on the Wednesday, right? Did I get my days right?
I'm looking now. 21 is a Sunday, and then 23rd is a Tuesday.
Okay, so Sunday is the 21st. Oh, yeah, duh, I knew that. And the 23rd is a Tuesday. So the team is getting ready. And, of course, the preseason games are coming up. And, you know, we got coming up the Vikings. We're going to play Raider football will start. Even though it's preseason, I don't care. If those silver helmets are out there on the field, I'm gonna watch them games at Minnesota on Saturday, August 10th. Then they play at home against the Dallas Cowboys on the 17th. And then they play the Great America Niners. If you're from the Bay, you understand that joke.
Santa Clara Niners.
By the way, Great America's closing down soon, so hopefully Niners go with them.
Is it really?
And within the next 10 years, so they made that. So, yeah. Niners just ruin everything. Friday, August 23rd. And then, of course, the opener is coming up September 8th. So we're almost, well, that's the season opener. Then the home opener would be September 22nd against the Panthers.
Carolina Panthers.
We are almost to football. And
it's close, but no star.
Not yet. But wait, because Crosby, because Crosby, zip slop zoom about, because Crosby will be handing them out after every game, because we're going 17-0. Anyways, of course,
17-0, baby. I'm on board.
17-0.
Are you ready?
All right. Are you ready for 17-0? Okay, so of course,
I'm always ready.
our favorite. He was a Denver Bronco, but I guess he's cool now because, he distanced himself.
Right.
Nah, I still remember. I grew up watching Shannon Sharpe try to, beat the Raiders. But you know what? I know he did that long reception against us when he was a Raven in the championship game. But Romanowski broke his elbow on that 2002 year. So it's okay, Shannon Sharpe. I guess, I don't know. Is that a push? But he released an episode today of Club Shay Shay.
Oh, I didn't get my hair did.
Well, we got passes. See? We got passes. We got lanyards. We got passes. The cage match was there. We were over there. And if you want to be there, scan that code right there. Scan that code. Hold on.
Oh, wrong one.
Scan that code right there. Scan that code, and you can go to Club Shay Shay. Kinda. From the side. We broke in. Okay, anyways.
Davante Adams was over there at Club Shay Shay. Exclusive interview, 2 hours and 7 minutes long. So we decided to. Huh?
One of our shows, over 2 hours.
I know we can't. There's no limit to what we can do. We try to keep it under, and then overtime, just like the beginning of the 2021 season. Just overtime games, but we leave with a victory. Actually, 2021. Yeah, remember that. John Gruden, don't send emails. Okay.
Careful about your emails that you send.
Yes. I only send emails that say send to 20 people for good luck or find your goldfish drowned in his bowl. Okay. You know how it goes. So we decided in a quick show that we put together in like an hour, 2 hours, because the episode was 2 hours long. We decided to break down what was said in that interview and, check it out. I'm not trying to get sued. We're not trying to get sued. So check it out. Go to Club Shay Shay or Shannon Sharpe's page and watch the full interview. It's a good interview. Asking about his Green Bay time and when he was younger and all that. But we're going to focus.
Talk about Aaron Rodgers a little too much. Shannon Sharpe kept asking about, like he's trying to wish that went into existence, but as you'll hear, it didn't. It won't. Whatever. So it's going to have to come the other direction.
So we're just going to break down parts of the some of the clips that we took from the episode and just, give our opinion because that's what all of these shows are about. It's about our opinions. And all our opinions count because the First Amendment says free speech. And if you say something stupid, the Second Amendment, I'm just joking. Anyways, shots fired. So we're gonna just break down these clips, and we'll start from this first one. Who's manning the videos, me or you?
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
You were in Green Bay for 8 years. Mm-hmm. You had Aaron Rodgers, a generational talent. 4 times he was an MVP, and we know what he represents. How hard was it for you to leave that? Because the likelihood of you going somewhere and finding that elsewhere is not, especially the relationship that you guys have built. This is over a period of time. Y'all didn't develop this over 1 year or 2 training camps. This is year after year, after conversation, game after game. Yeah. How hard was it for you to leave Green Bay and go to another situation, even though you was joining your ex-college teammate?
It was difficult, man, and honestly, I could be real and tell you that I knew it was gonna be hard, but it was a lot harder than what I even imagined. And I felt like that wasn't necessarily what was best for me at that moment, especially with Aaron's, his future in Green Bay kind of being up in the air the way it was, and him ultimately leaving. I didn't want to be there, and in hindsight, obviously Jordan Love balling out, and it would have been great to do that. But I'm the type of guy, once I make a decision, I live with it. I drive yourself crazy, sit here and be worried about, did I do that? Oh, I wish I would have did this and did that. Like, you can't live life like that, man. Ain't no rewind button, so you got to make decisions and live with it.
And I like that he ended with, I make a decision and I just go with it.
Yep.
because you know a lot of folks in the media, like the national media, are trying to spin the narrative because there's nothing to talk about right now. Is maybe Devonte Adams, in hindsight, seeing what happened with the Raiders and Josh McDaniels and sending out Derek Carr and having Garoppolo be the replacement and all that maybe he should have stayed with Green Bay because Jordan Love started to emerge at the end of this past season.
We're starting to emerge though, and you know, there's he still has to keep it up. I mean, I believe that's talked about later on about, you know, it's about consistency, not just a flash in the pan. But I mean, we all have made decisions and sat there and second guessed them. I mean, you know, I've moved to Kansas and damn fucking, you know, there's times you go, did I make the right decision? You know, everyone does it. I do like the fact that he doesn't let that, like you said, he doesn't let it affect him. He made his decision. This is what it is. This is the boat I'm in, and there's no need to sit there and go, well, I made a mistake and do this. No, he's focused on moving forward with the Raiders.
Yeah, and you said moving to Kansas. Like, let's make you Davante Adams, okay? You move to Kansas, and then all of a sudden the Chiefs have a quote unquote dynasty in the making with their 3 out of 4 Super Bowl victories in the last 5 years. But I mean, I still live in California, so I'm pretty sure financial wise, economic wise, and all that otherwise, that you were wise in your decision to move over there. And he was,
for those reasons, and to get away from traffic. I don't have to deal with the California traffic.
Oh yeah, the traffic. Yeah, don't remind me of the traffic. I am, as of right now, a driver. That's what I do for a living. And people used to ask me at the Coliseum, "Hey, how do you get your voice to go like this all the time? Oh yeah, and then you can do that for 8 hours. How do you do it?" Well, when you're yelling at people on the road, that's how you condition your voice. What are you doing? Get off the road. I can't stand Teslas. What are you doing? Get off. Honk. This and that. So my voice, I conditioned my voice that way. Thank you.
And I've listened to a lot of that.
Yes. So anyone who's been on the phone with me while I drive, you hear that sometimes I cut off and be like, what are you doing? Pick it. I don't want to use the bad language I use on this show because my mom.
Yeah, I know. Your mom and sister watch.
My mom and my sister watch, and my godmother watch. So I got people out there. I got to make sure I keep my button up.
You know, when did you insert your hand into your ass? God damn motherfucker, get it out!
But if the cameras inside the truck had audio, they would have, they would have good clips right there, just like Davante Adams in the receiver Netflix special that they had recently, still on Netflix right now. Can't confirm. Yeah, my sister knows. Basically, it's kind of like, and I don't know if it was meant to be that way, but Davante Adams being on Club Shay Shay is more, I guess it seemed like it's more to clarify kind of who he is, because he tried to give you the real life version of who he was on receiver, but of course people want to steer things, and whether it was the way they edited the show, that they want to steer things to Davante Adams is not happy. But as he said in that clip, well, I made my decision.
Not just that, you also have people in Raider Nation and the other, reporters and everything who are steering that narrative because, they hear the comment, I need to get out of here before I get killed. And then they ignore everything else that happened, going afterwards, which was early in the show, in the season, going. It was just a heat of the moment comment, but they're taking it as it was gold, and that's, it was, Moses came down from the mountains with it written on a tablet. And that's what,
the 11th commandment, get me out of here. Part to see. I
get killed, what I mean?
So
I mean, that's, you have shit like that. And I agree. I do like what you said. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. And I was going to say, and, that's what he was saying is like, I made my decision. And I don't regret it because I decided to come to the Raiders, and Derek Carr was a huge factor in that, and then things don't work out.
That should be in there, right? That should be one of the clips.
Yeah, well, let's go to the next one.
you're making the decision. Obviously, it's going to come down because you got your pick of where you want to go. For the most part, everybody's not going to be able to afford your salary. So it comes down to the Raiders. Obviously, Derek Carr, you played with him in college, so there's a relationship, although you hadn't played in a number of years.
Yeah.
How instrumental was he for you coming to the Raiders and then to see all of a sudden after a year, it's gone?
Well, I mean, he played a huge part in that, man. I mean, I grew up a Raiders fan, being from the Bay, and my whole family being Raiders fans. So in a sense, it was kind of written, but at the same time, I don't know if I would have made the move had it not been him, under center when I got there. And then I talked about, obviously, when they got rid of him, I was not happy about that at all. But just based off the business and knowing how, at that point I was going into year 10, once they got rid of him. So I'm thinking about it and I'm like, man, this ain't the first, and it definitely ain't gonna be the last person that, it means a lot to me and my career that I'm not gonna be able to be around. So you gotta roll with the punches and figure it out. And I'm not really in the business of jumping around trying to skate around the states trying to find a home. So I'm just we got a great team and great potential to be a great team. So really for me, it was easy to say I'm gonna stick here and try to figure this out with these guys and going to work with guys like Max Crosby and having these type of dudes. That it was a different level of competition when I came to the Raiders. The Packers, we won all these games and 13 games, three times in a row under Matt LaFleur, but it was just a different type of feeling when I walked into that Raiders and went into that first OTA practice. It was a different level of competition that I never really felt in the league yet. And it made me feel a way about this team, and I kind of was locked in from that point.
Right.
In your face, all you Derek Carr haters. Said Derek Carr never did nothing for the team. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have Devonte Adams. Sorry.
In your face, Derek Carr haters. A different level of competition. I wonder if that means within the team, like, seeing guys like Max Crosby, who elevates his game to the next level, and it's contagious that you want to do the same. Or is it the division? Because in Green Bay, who do you got? You got the Lions, who are now emerging. You have Green Bay, the Lions. You have I'm forgetting teams now.
I don't know divisions. Goddamn it. Is it the Bears?
Come on, the North, the Minnesota Vikings, who are inconsistent. They're up and down. And then the Bears. Yeah, the Bears. The Bears who they've been middle of the pack also. So, ish. They're like this. I guess so now you come to the AFC West and you got the Chiefs, of course, and the hype of the Chargers, and the Broncos are there, they got pony rides, I guess, whatever. But the competition, and then being in the AFC with all the other teams you got to go against, like the Dolphins and the Bills. So the competition is higher coming to the Raiders, and of course when you're playing for your childhood team coming from the Bay Area, you have that where you don't want to mess up. Like you want to be the best, because now you're putting on that jersey that you used to watch when you're a kid, fantasize when you're younger that I want to play for the Raiders. So it's another element that. Like who?
Marcus Peters.
Good old Marcus Peters. Outside of Marcus Peters, a lot of the players that find themselves finally in their career as Raiders, they do pretty well. You had Jack Del Rio as a coach. I mean, he got us to the playoffs for the first time in many years. And Derek Carr.
Del Rio was part of the reason this shit started to turn around. It was under the Del Rio, he changed the culture from a losing culture to starting to be something.
Hold on. Rick is in here. Rick, if you're still in here, I got to say, we shouted you out last week. And
did he watch the show? Let's find out if he watched the show last week.
Rick, did you watch the show last week?
Do you know why you were MVP last week?
Rick, let us know in the comments, but until we find out, let's go back to what we were talking about. Jack Del Rio, growing up in Hayward, going to Hayward High, his parents, especially his dad, was a big Raider fan, when he was growing up, and to coach for your childhood team that you played for, I'm sorry, to coach the team that you rooted for, there's that extra oomph, like there's more love in your job, like you care more. He got us to the playoffs in 2016. Well, let's just say you shouted us out on a rival show, and we saw that, and we said, you know what, Rick? We need to get your address because we got to send you a little prize pack for that because we appreciate what you did talking about John Kingdon that was on our show a couple weeks ago, so we want to shout you out, Rick. He said he got the last 10 minutes. Well, you know what, Rick?
Hold on, there's been a whole week in between.
Rick, doesn't matter because for 2 minutes, or actually not even, for like 30 seconds, what you did on that show, MVP status, okay? You are the real MVP, like I said. Shouting you out, Rick, from Hawaii. All right. And he said he has our shirts. Oh, he said he's seen that too. All right. Yeah, we got to exchange addresses so we can exchange gifts, right before the new year, the football. But, so a lot of these former players and, coaches, guys like even Derek Carr getting drafted by the Raiders. He grew up as a Raider fan. I know his brother played for the Texans, so he was in Texas a lot, whatever, but he was a Raider fan. Marshawn Lynch got to play his last 2 seasons. Well, yeah, I know he went back to Seattle for a half a season, but full 2 seasons. He did well, coming back out of retirement. So Davante Adams coming to a team, and I know it's hard because you really want to win for the team you grew up on, and you want to make sure that you made the right decision, which he says, I don't regret what I do. I don't regret what decisions I made. So, right there, putting on those colors, and even players who just been in the league, it's been noted that when they put on that silver and black, it's like a superhero kind of like suit, like you feel like you got more powers, like just wearing that silver and black, knowing that you're the bad guy, it gives you like an extra. How would you describe like an extra?
Oh, it gives. I know what you're trying to say. It's that extra panache, whatever. God damn, what's the word? You stick in your chest out.
I don't know.
No, I mean, you stick your chest out. That extra confidence, or
yeah,
when you're playing. It's just like if we had sons and they would fucking get drafted by the Raiders.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna be strutting our shit. I mean, you got that. We're gonna be strutting our shit. We're gonna be, it doesn't matter how bad they're playing, how good they're playing. We're gonna be my boy. I'm gonna see my name on the back of a jersey, and I didn't have to pay extra for it. It's gonna be legit. I get a, get a game jersey.
NFL stitched, yes. So, there's an extra added to it. Yes. Your ego has been upgraded. So, he talks about that. Well, let's go into the next clip. I'm hoping I had an order. Let's go to the next clip.
You see all the success that Josh McDaniels has as the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And then you was like, man, he got a great mind. I see the way what he does with Welker. I saw what he did with Moss. I saw what he did with Gronk and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And you was like, man, what is it about him that for whatever reason, obviously take Tom Brady out, but still schematically you should be able to scheme things and make things happen.
Right.
What is it about him? Because he's been at a couple of locations that wasn't New England and it went horrible.
Yeah. This is what I would say, and I actually had this conversation with him during the season that first year, because we had some things going where dudes was messing up assignments. They didn't really seem all the way locked in like how they were supposed to. So I went and sat in there with him, and it would just coincidentally have to be after a game where I had like 2 catches or something like that. So I go in his office, and it's the first time, as soon as I walk in there, I know, Tay, getting ready, like, starting off, like, I know we got to get you the ball, this and that. I said, that's not even what I mean. We were aligned on a lot of stuff. We were talking. I was actually a big advocate for him, just because I felt like maybe the way the offense went didn't work great with us, but what he believed in, I truly believed in as well. And he was old school, and I always had old school coaches. So, him being hard on us in practice and stuff like that never bothered me, because, I know what it is that he's trying to get out of us.
Right.
So
Greatness.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all that it was. So I go in there and I say, we shouldn't change our standard, but I think you and I, just to save our mental, we might have to change our expectation a little bit, because here's the reality. You've had success in this offense in many, many years. Super Bowl, I think he won 6 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. But the only difference is every single human being that walked through those doors and was sitting on the other side of him in those team meetings, they had a hand in every soul that was in there. So when you picking and you got this super complex, slides and all these things for this O-line, you getting these Harvard grads and all these dudes that could really process this.
Right.
We got dudes that grew in Mayock and them brought in, and good talent, but these dudes are not the same. They may not be as intellectual. They may not be as disciplined as what you would have chose yourself, when you're not realizing that these ain't dudes that got PhDs like some of the guys you had, and just even fit that system the way that, so we got guys that may be better in the system that we have now, because the ultimate name of the game is win the game. It's not win a certain type of way.
Yeah.
So I think what's most important when you're a coach is shaping it around who you
got to
got.
adapt.
That's a good point that none of us really thought about that. Huh?
That wasn't in order, was it?
No, well, I think it was, but I was hoping that what I was hoping for came up, but it's still in there. Anyways, that's a good point that he had said that, McDaniels, in New England, he had all the success with Gronk and Hernandez and Welker and all those guys with Brady. Take Brady out. How come it didn't work anywhere else? And that was a good point that Devonte said that. Well, all those guys that they had in New England were drafted or picked by New England people, by their organization, by Bill Belichick. So them coming to a new place, McDaniels coming to a new place like the Raiders, about 90% of these guys, 85% of these guys are not your guys. So you're trying to force something that's not going to fit to the mindset. And I think he was he was being very careful how he said it, with, you got these Harvard grads and these PhDs, and you come over here where you got guys who are not as intellectual like that. But it's just, when you draft players or you bring players in, when a coaching staff bring their players in, and Belichick had his long tenure there in New England, you're gonna get guys, like your guys, like the guys that'll fit your system, the way you coach, guys who you feel will learn the way you're teaching. So coming over to a new environment, that doesn't always translate if you can't adapt, and that's what he was saying.
No, I agree with that. But do you think this is a good thing to show Raider Nation, basically with what he's there, is going to translate to Luke Getsy? Right? Because basically, everyone's wondering what's going to happen, what's going on. They keep sticking it to what happened with the Bears. But here he's saying, and we've said it, Luke Getsy's got to turn around and make his offense fit the players he's got. And, I was just, and I thought you were going to say something.
No, I was reading that. Go ahead.
So you got to fit it to the players you got. Now, I get it with the coaching, especially, head coach. And McDaniels had a hard time. He tried to drive his way, down everyone's throat. And Devonte tried to go in there like a good leader on the field does and say, hey, we need to tailor this to what we have, not to what you had. You can't just plug and play players into any system. There's some players who could do that, but not a lot of players that can. And, give yourself some time to draft those players and get the guys from other teams in this that's going to fit your scheme. Like you said, the heart rate and everything has nothing to do with the schooling. It's all about, the smarts to be able to understand what's being asked of you and be able to think and maybe even think ahead. This is what I'm seeing. I got to do this instead, which I know he talks about later on about, things, his connection with Aaron Rodgers and how, just by the two of them seeing a certain alignment out there on the defense, they knew exactly how deep a route was going to get run. The route was anywhere from, I think he said 9 to 17 yards. But depending on what was being shown, they knew exactly what it was going to be ran because, working together and going and being seen. That's where I was going with that. Sorry. Rambling.
Well, I mean, it kind of opens the door to what really goes on when a New England Patriot coach tries to go to a new organization, the Romeo Crennels, I know his name every time until I'm trying to say it now. He was Charlie Weiss. The Charlie Weiss is his. And then of course McDaniels in 2 terms as head coach, which means that the Belichick tree, Belichick doesn't. Well, yeah, he doesn't really teach his understudies, I guess, on his coaching staff how to be good coaches because they're assuming that we have to force down this Patriot way. When we go to a new organization to be the head guy, to be the head coach. Romeo Crennel did not do well at all when he went and took over the Texans. And now we kind of see why, that they assume that you have to force this way to a new organization, to new players that.
Well, Patricia, not Patricia, who is it? Yeah, Matt Patricia didn't do half bad.
Yeah, but he was a
former player.
Yeah, he's a former player.
But still, he still did the Patriot way.
Yeah, but coming as a player, you have a more understanding of how.
Vrabel too. Vrabel.
Yeah. But as former players, they can relate to the players that they're coaching. When you have these coaches like Romeo Crennel, who was just, he's an assistant coach under Belichick, a defensive coordinator, went over to try to take over the Texans, didn't work out. Not that they don't know players, but like AP, knowing how a player, his mindset is, learning a new system and or learning a new, your new players around you, trying to build a continuity, like how that works. So he knows how to guide the players or navigate the players through all that. When you have guys like McDaniels, who's never played in the NFL, to try to learn how a player thinks and then force a philosophy and a playbook that is very complex, and even Devonte had said in the past that this playbook's not easy to learn. I had to try to read some of these plays over and over again just to kind of understand the concept of why it's supposed to work or why we're running this play. So he's saying is that McDaniels was just too stuck in his own ways to adapt to the players that he has and change up or what's the word? Where they try to form you know the word. Adapt to the player that you have and then run the offense to the player's strengths. And that's what he didn't do. And as you've seen on the field, there was no real smoothness. There was no continuity because everyone was thinking too much because they have to try to fit into a system that a lot of these players were not familiar with. And that's what I had said when they hired McDaniels, that, okay, I get it. When John Gruden had to resign, then you have Bisaccia. He just continued on with John Gruden's playbook because they still had the offensive coordinator there. And then when he went to go for the interview, Bisaccia to be the head coach that following offseason, and I get it. Okay, maybe Mark Davis, wanted to go either young or someone with a little bit more
He wanted
experience.
a name. He wanted a name, basically,
but
and maybe a little bit of experience. Being McDaniels did do the Denver stint.
Well, what I was saying is that him going to McDaniels, who was a whole nother different type of system that these players were used to for the last 4 years or Gruden, I thought they would go to another type of West Coast like offense and just kind of like do like a transition that way. They went on a whole nother philosophy.
Especially with Dick Garoppolo, you would have thought they would have went with a West Coast offense.
Well, yeah. Well, they had Derek Carr before, and that's why it was just like.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even with the even Carr would have been successful in the West Coast offense.
Well, of course, because that's what he was running with Gruden. That's why I thought Mark Davis would get a coach that had a similar type of philosophy, and then they could just transition, to the next couple of years. But at least the philosophy of what they were playing under will continue, and that'll help build from that foundation that was put there. But that didn't happen. So that's what he was saying is you can't force this offense on us because it's different. And you got guys from New England that you drafted or you handpicked so that team stayed the same throughout the 20 plus years. You just added players to it when other players would retire or leave. You would just add, a player here or there to fulfill those spots. You didn't have a whole new team that you had to try to teach this system to. You had other players that would help those new players come in. So that's what he was saying with that.
He also had Brady, who was there for his whole stint. As offensive coordinator. Because you notice when he came back and had other quarterbacks, he really didn't do so well.
Well, Matt Castle is probably the only one. And then he went to Kansas City on that big contract, and that didn't go well. So, whatever. Let's go to the next clip.
Do you feel like sometimes like the Raiders, because of the Raiders, kind of like if I was born a pirate, I think my job is to naturally pillage and loot. And so if you get drafted to the Raiders, it's almost like I'm supposed to be a bad boy. I'm supposed to be bad. I'm supposed to get in trouble. As long as I knock hell out of people on the field, I catch a few touchdowns.
That may be. I never really thought about it like that, but like you said, you grow up in that, or you get brought into that culture. The thing is, I think that's kind of the older thing. I don't know if that's the Raider culture as much. It's definitely that hard nosed, tough. You want people to fear you coming in.
Right.
You don't want them to fear that you about to shoot them. Or rob them, what I'm saying? Nothing like that. So we can't be getting too out of control with it, but we try to, definitely have that same type of mentality. That's what he said. I mean, we watch videos throughout the year, little hype videos they put together for you week in and week out, and we get to see some of the stuff that Jack Tatum and the boys was doing.
Man,
and Al,
you going to jail for that even on the field today.
I'm telling you, John Madden too. Them boys saying, yeah, we the Raiders. Yeah, we gonna punch you in the mouth. What you gonna do about it? And we want you to worry about that. Right. We don't want you to worry about, this man about to get a DUI tonight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So hopefully we can stay away from that type of stuff and just keep it about the hard nose.
Cruising with the twos? No, you don't have to worry about none of that. Especially nowadays with everything being recorded, with the social medias and everyone having cameras on their phones and cameras everywhere. Everyone's getting recorded. That was one thing I believe that John Keaton had said, that you can do things back in the day. You could disappear for a couple of days. No one's going to know unless it's actually reported. But nowadays, everything is documented. You can't get away from anything if you're a high profile person.
To the hospital, nobody knew that shit.
Yeah.
He's check himself. You find out from books and everything that, Al Davis or John Madden get a phone call from the hospital. Yeah, he just checked himself in. We don't know why. He's nothing wrong with him. Keep him there to keep him out of trouble. How many people do that kind of shit? Do that now, and everybody and their brother's going to have videos and pictures, like you said, and it's going to be all over the fucking place. You do it just once, and oh my God, he's nuts. He's crazy. Something's wrong. He's hurt.
Yeah, and that's what he was saying is like, you don't expect, being a Raider, you are I guess you're just given like an attitude, like you just develop an attitude because there's 31 other teams, and then there's the Raiders, and the Raiders were the bad boys of the NFL, or for like Al Davis, the middle finger of the NFL, the Godfather. There's pride in being the villain. And that's what he was saying, that was the clip I was hoping was going to come on, but whatever, one clip after, it doesn't matter. We eventually got to it, but, being a Raider, yeah, you have like a new type of attitude, like a new personality. Like, I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to cause havoc. And
you were able to be yourself. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You were able to be yourself. So if you were that, little twisted, sick, in the head kind of a thing, you were allowed to do that instead of, you hear stories in the books about, they're showing up, to things in their jeans and T-shirts and shit where everyone else is traveling in suits and have all matching, the Chiefs looking like ketchup bottles going down the line, coming out the bus and shit. But yeah, you get jeans and everything. There's a story about John Madden saying, how about we keep the holes out of the jeans, guys, at least, and but that's not us, kind of an answer. And he kind of just gave up and said, all right, whatever.
Yeah, and that was the whole thing of just win. Like, just win. I don't care what you do or whatever. Just when you get in the field, just as long as our score is higher than their score, when the clock's, when it turns 0, that's all that matters. If you play bad, whatever, but as long as we win, that's all that matters. And that right there is the Raider way. But he said, we want to go to places where we're feared and have that intimidation, but not necessarily that your fear of your life, that you're going to get shot or robbed or whatever. So, unfortunately for us Raider fans, we have that reputation, starting in Oakland, being in LA, going back to Oakland, that perception from the outside, because we are rowdy fans, not necessarily violent fans, not necessarily disrespectful fans. You don't really hear too much of going to a Raider game and having batteries thrown at the team, like in Denver, where they put batteries in the snowballs, just as Lincoln Kennedy threw snowballs at him. That ice shard went into his eye. He went over and he punched the guy in the face. He knocked him out, and then knocked out, he was banned from that stadium. He lost his season ticket. So
what was it? Matt Millen punching the Patriots GM?
Yeah.
That's a famous picture right there.
Yeah, that's
something.
That's a picture you want to get. You want to go over and be like, hey, Matt, can you sign this picture of you knocking out a Patriots GM on the field? So, yeah, that's when he was saying, because now Davante Adams, coming from Green Bay, for the longest, they were the NFL's, like, with Vince Lombardi having the NFL titles and then going in and winning Super Bowl 1 and 2. We were into Super Bowl number 2. But coming from the Green Bay with all that tradition, I coming to the Raiders with tradition also, but for other reasons, added to the old winning ways that we had in the 60s and the 70s and the early 80s.
It's hard-nosed football is what it was. It was blue-collar football.
And that's what we are. I know we're in Vegas and it's a new corporate era now for us, but that's how you have to do to survive in this new NFL, in this new world. So even though we're in a new city, that's another thing too, is we got to try to minimize the distractions that are out there. Being in Vegas, these young players with a lot of money, a lot of temptation. So, and then also that's probably why, not probably, we said that many times, and it was reported also by AP himself, is one of the main reasons why they're going to start the training camp in Costa Mesa, because it's just taking, you're taking these players away from all that distraction, even with the families and all that, whatever, to focus on themselves, what they have to do to focus at the task at hand. So, being a Raider, yeah, you think of from the outside, you think of rowdy, rude, and disrespectful, violent people. But like Matt Millen said, yeah, they partied a lot, the Raiders did, but they worked hard. These teams, they worked hard, and they had titles back then to show for it. So, want to go to the next clip?
Hold on. I'm trying to answer
Let me see.
in the chats. My bad.
Let's
I get
go
that. I
to
get
the
that
next
one. Right here. It was.
Would you
right here.
Brady? How old's Brady? Brady's
Hell,
probably.
yes.
Oh God, damn! You ain't let me answer the question. You ain't let me finish the question, Tay.
I know exactly. Hey, I knew it when you said Tom Brady. I knew what you said. Let me see what he gonna say. And then you got to talk about old he is. I don't care. I don't care.
You would take Tom at 47, 48.
58 right now. Hey, nah, Tom. Look, Tom know about how I feel about him, man. And the other part is, I think I'll be the first person that played with Tom and Aaron. So
Right.
that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he getting older, but I mean, he got to still be able to throw it better than half these dudes in the league
He
at
can
this
spin
point.
it.
So.
But you better be able to protect him because he ain't gonna be able to take them hits better.
And he ain't going nowhere either. He's
No.
gonna sit right there in that pocket. So you better have a nice, secure little home for him in there. That's for sure.
Okay. Hypothetically speaking.
Oh yes. Oh, sorry.
Hypothetically speaking, he's speaking on behalf of, because Tom Brady had all that success with the Patriots and then coming to the Buccaneers, even though it was a COVID, even though it was a COVID year. But Tom Brady having 7 rings, 6 with Patriots, the 7th one with the Buccaneers, having 9 Super Bowl appearances altogether. No, 10 Super Bowl appearances altogether because he lost twice to Eli, and then he lost to the Eagles. Yeah, so
I won money on that game. Can't bet against Brady. Bet me you couldn't.
So, hypothetically speaking, Tom Brady at 47, 5, 6, 7, whatever. He goes, you know what? I'm going to ask Fox to hold off for another year of my going on broadcasting, going on TV. And I just want to come. Well, he has to ask Aiden O'Connor for the number, though. But he goes down. He goes to Mark David and says, you know what? I got one more season in me. Give me a uniform. Let me go out there. Can this team and this offensive line?
He's not owner yet then, right?
He's not owner yet. All that's still pending. So let's say he goes, I'm going to put everything on hold for one more shot at the title. Give me a uniform. Get me down there. Let's go. Can this team with Brady, now, we're talking now, going into this season, can this team win with Brady? Can they protect Brady? Do you believe Brady, even though he hasn't played in a couple years, like 2 years, I think, do you think he can sling it for one more season for Devonte?
At least he says it for me. She even put it in there 3 times. No. I mean, if it was a couple of years ago, I might have said yes. But I just think it's getting
freeze frame.
Said, I mean, our offensive line shows promise, but the way you'd have to protect, I mean, maybe yes, because you know what? We get all the Brady rules, right? The refs would have to finally be on our side.
Tom Brady's like, now remember, Kay, I'm going to be in the booth next year. So if y'all don't throw flags when I get hit, I got material to talk about when I do you guys' games, referees. Okay? No. So Tom Brady now, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to wrap him around in that insulated, that foam that you saw in Little Giants with the kid with the big old glasses, that nerd. You got to wrap him in that to protect him because who knows how good them knees are still, to go over there and take hits from defensive linemen. You got to make sure that the arm is good. So you got to, maybe if he falls in a certain way, like that kid from Rookie of the Year, falls in a certain way where he gets that spring with his ligament, get that spring.
That tendon, right? That tendon goes into
And then maybe, you got to get
You already got a movie?
we're running out of movies. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else can we use. I know in the Sixth Day they had the XFL showcased in the Sixth Day, and with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So when the quarterback got hurt, they just cloned him and threw up a new one over there. So we need a cloning machine. We need the styrofoam wrap, and we need him to just
break his elbow just right so he said that tendon
so he can throw about 112 yards, so
like a laser.
Like a laser. So and then if all that doesn't work and he gets hurt, we take him in the back and we clone him like in the Sixth Day, and we send him back out there. And if you don't remember that movie, The Sixth Day with Schwarzenegger, the Sixth Day, yeah, right, yeah, the cloning one. The XFL was in that movie, and that's what they did when the quarterback went down. They cloned him. What happened to the original quarterback? Don't know, but I think he was a clone also. So that's how it'll work.
But then you got to be careful because you keep cloning, you end up with multiplicity, and you're going to have the one. She does my Pepe, Steve.
Was that the one with Bruce? With I was saying Bruce Wayne. No, is that the one with
Michael Keaton? Yes,
Michael Keaton with Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
yeah. So, no, we're not advocating. We're not advocating for Tom Brady to come down from the chair next to Mark Davis and play a season, but Devonte Adams is like, I played with greatness with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, it's Tom Brady. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. But
he didn't even let him finish. He was like, hell yeah.
I already know where you're going with this one.
I wonder how Aiden O'Connell feels about that statement right there.
Well, you know what? Aiden O'Connell has the number 12, so I guess just do your thing and be the new number 12. Like Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay, like Tom Brady was in his career, and be that new number 12 that Davante Adams is searching for, that number 12. But the next clip kind of is a continuation of what he was talking about, so let's go on to the next clip. Oh, yeah.
So what about these internet about you reuniting with Aaron? Is that something you would be open to, amenable to if this had happened this offseason? If the Jets offered a package big enough to satisfy the Raiders' need and you be reunited with Aaron, would that have been something you'd have been open to?
Well, I'll answer it like this. If I'm going to be reunited with anybody, it would be Aaron.
Okay.
But or be, relocated and be anywhere, it would be with Aaron. But that's not really my... there's a lot of that stuff going on last year in the media and them asking, well, what are you going to do about this? Are you thinking about going here? And they talk about whatever without me even being involved in it. And it ended up getting all the way to the point where it got in the locker room and people was thinking that it was, I was the driving force. And I'm like, y'all just don't understand, man. Like, when I hate to say it like this because it makes me sound like I'm trying to put myself on a pedestal, but when you're a certain level of player, you don't have to come from you, and it most oftentimes is not coming from you. And I'm not the type of person that I enjoy going and putting that type of stuff out there when I'm actively on the Raiders.
Right.
What do I look like sitting here talking to other people about being on another team?
Right.
And that's how I still feel about it right now. Like, I'm locked in with the Raiders, and I really feel good about this team. As far as I know, they feel good about me. And if that ever changed, if that got to a point where they weren't feeling the same way, I ain't done playing. So obviously we would figure out whatever we needed to figure out.
And there is your answer right there to all those clickbaiters that talk about Davante Adams going to get traded to the Jets.
You can't say that. That's 30.
Oh, sorry, we can't say that. But, he swears that he's a Raider through and through. I'm not looking to go anywhere else. I am a Raider, and I'm going to be here, and I'm going to play for the team that I grew up idolizing, watching in the Bay Area in Palo Alto, I think it was East Palo Alto, EPA. So can we just stop stop talking about Devonte Adams going to the Jets, because like we had said in Raider D's episode, if you want to check that out, we have most of it. Go to Raider D's podcast. We were on there on Saturday, but we said, why would he go and leave a situation that is right there? They beat the Chiefs last year, so they know they can beat the top dog, not only in the division, but also in the league. To go to the Jets that has a lot of questions going on. Who is going to be their quarterback? After Aaron Rodgers, in the long term, and waste your career with the Jets. I mean, just ask Brett Favre. He left the Jets to go to the Vikings. Just ask, well, that's all I got, because the Jets haven't had anybody after that. So, there's your answer right there. I am a Raider until the organization tells me otherwise, and we can figure that out. I am a Raider, so please stop trying to get me in trouble with my team and having the players in my locker room think that I have this other agenda to go back and play with Aaron Rodgers, because the last 2 years here with the Raiders didn't go as planned as I hoped with Derek Carr. But let's just stop, okay? He believes in Aiden O'Connell. He believes that he can do, he going into this next season with Getsy, like you had mentioned earlier, Asylum, that he believes in him, and he, has his vote of confidence for O'Connell. So he's not going anywhere.
I don't know if this next clip has it, if you got it, but in this, he does talk about what O'Connell had to go through and how he does have faith in O'Connell and all that, going and the faith, and yes, he's got to learn, and he's not saying he's the next Aaron Rodgers, whatever like that. But again, he left Green Bay because he didn't know Aaron Rodgers' future. Why is he going to go to the Jets if he doesn't know Aaron Rodgers' future?
Yeah,
he says he'll go back to play with Aaron as long as the Raiders don't want him, but he still got to know what that future is. And who's to say that that future don't have Aaron Rodgers like everybody wanted before coming to the Raiders for a year or two to finish his career to play with Devonte instead? Why does it have to be Devonte going somewhere else?
Yeah.
Oh, I know why. Because O'Connell's going to fucking take that starting job and turn around and show everybody that we don't need an Aaron Rodgers to come over here and be on the team.
You know what? I think you skipped the clip. So let's go. I'm gonna press it right now.
In your 2 years with the Raiders, you've gone 14-20. Haven't made the playoffs. Derek Carr, Jared Stidham, Jimmy G, Brian Hoyer, Aiden O'Connell. Now it seems like Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew going to be fighting for the starting quarterback. Do you have the pieces at that position?
Yeah, man. It's always a tough conversation, because when you talk about having the for sure answer, we don't know, because we haven't seen Gardner in a Raider uniform. We've seen him make some plays, and we've seen it to a certain extent.
Jacksonville, Indy.
Exactly. He's definitely been out there and had some experience. Aiden, on the other hand, hasn't had near as much experience. He had to pick up, in an offense that's fit for a Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. It's an offense that you have to have an extremely high level execution to be able to make it work. When you got a guy, and me and Aiden talked about it at the end of last year, because I think we were in a hot tub and somebody asked him, like, what do you think about this offense? And he said himself, this offense just requires a really high level execution. You got to be able to really sustain a drive. It's not in a lot of offenses in these, especially today. These offenses explosive, man. You get 3 first downs, your ass done scored, basically. So, it's tough to do. You got to pick up in the middle of that as a young buck, and then you come in, the game that Jimmy gets hurt, he got to jump in and play against the Chargers, get sacked 6 times by the same freaking person. Like that's not easy, and he kind of got thrown into the fire a little bit. So I do believe in Aiden, and I think he's going to be able to feel a lot more comfortable. He looked pretty good in OTAs, and we're just going to continue to grow and learn from each other. And I've always been a big advocate for him, because when he first came in real confident, balling in the OTA period and in preseason, and showed everybody what he has the potential to do.
And right there,
he was pissed off at Khalil Mack in that fucking statement, getting sacked by the same motherfucking dude.
Well, he probably didn't want to say, Aiden was thrown in there and was sabotaged by his own coaching staff, like Hondo had said in a couple of his podcasts. Hondo Carpenter said in his couple of podcasts. But yeah, right then and there, you know, he is 100% behind Aiden O'Connell, and yeah, there is a competition between him and Minshew, and I'm surprised that he didn't answer that question or I guess walk on eggshells with his statement. But he said, like, yeah, I'm behind Aiden O'Connell, and let's see what he can do.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that comes with the fact that he's played with O'Connell. Yeah, I mean, like you said, we've seen what Minshew could do, but he hasn't done it in a Raiders jersey yet. And so, but that familiarity, they do talk about at points about, ball placement, how to, that they knew, like when Aaron Rodgers would throw Devonte the ball, he knew if it was right in the numbers, he had somebody on each side and he was going to get leveled. But if he threw it one way, he knew he could go this. If it was over the back shoulder, then he knew that the ball placement meant a lot. And he's probably working with Aiden O'Connell on that kind of stuff. So he knows, so he doesn't get led into a lot of those hits that, happen with Jimmy and everything. So, there's all that. And just, he has, confidence. I mean, he saw, like I said, in the OTAs last year, preseason last year. Then he comes in and is even more confident this year. I mean, you want a confident quarterback, but he's obviously seeing the growth. Sometimes you got to listen, not even to the coaches, but to what the players are saying during these off seasons in the practice. Davante knows what a good quarterback looks like in practice. He knows. So listen to what he's saying, and maybe, just maybe, all those steps that everybody wanted O'Connell to make are being made.
Yeah. And like you said, and we talked about this in our early episodes, number 52 right now. Hey, 1 year. In our early episodes, as we were watching the preseason games last year, we've seen O'Connell basically take over the game to the point where I don't know if McDaniels didn't want to take him out and see what else he can do, because he played a lot of the minutes, like basketball. He played a lot of those series out there in the preseason, to the point where it was Aiden O'Connell, and that was it. That's why we thought he was going to be the second man behind Garoppolo. But if Aiden O'Connell, and I know that the offensive playbook during preseason is, slightly vanilla, because they don't want to give away all their good plays or all their whatever plays before the season starts, where the games actually count and matter, just to, I guess, master that part of the playbook where he was just throwing downfield and just making connections to all these guys, looking like we drafted a star in the making. And now to come this season with a playbook that's more suited for a lot of these guys' skill set, Davante Adams having the familiarity with Getsy in Green Bay, O'Connell could have that surprise year that everyone's writing off the Raiders quarterback room.
Oh yeah, right. And he has that familiarity with O'Connell right now versus Minshew, and O'Connell's got it with basically every receiver except for the new guys like Brock Bowers and Dylan Labe and shit like that. He's already got somewhat of a rapport. He didn't have it last year. We talked about that a lot. Being he never got the first or second team reps, but he ended up with a connection with Jacoby Myers, with Trey Tucker, shit like that. So
Wilkinson in
the preseason, even Michael Myers, going, that's going to go a long way. I know Minshew, he has that. Yes, he's learned a lot of different playbooks. He's got that 5 years of experience, and that's to his advantage. And I'm not taking anything away from that. But where does that help Minshew? That helps Minshew is what he's been doing as a backup quarterback, to be able to learn everything, come in when he needs to, and that's where Minshew thrives.
Yes.
is coming in and being able to keep the shit going, whether it's in the middle of a game, whether it's for a couple of starts. You know, that's where he thrives. I don't take anything away from Minshew. I just think that connection that Devonte was talking about before gives O'Connell that much more of that opportunity to prove that he's going to get the starting job.
Yeah, and just like what Rick said, that he's gone through so much growing up to earn the starting position in high school at Purdue, and then now with the Raiders, that he has the opportunity to prove them wrong again, and that's what O'Connell has been saying. He even said at the beginning of the offseason or going into the OTAs that, I'm not used to being the guy. So this kind of environment where I have to fight for my job, I'm used to. I've been doing it my whole football life.
And that's what he's doing now. He's fighting for his job, right? Because everyone say it's his job until it's taken away.
Yeah.
And, he did it like Purdue. Yeah, he went from the 8th string quarterback to the starting quarterback. If he doesn't have that fight, he doesn't know what to do. He likes to have that fire under his ass. He needs that dog nipping at his heels, because that's what he uses as that motivation, that drive to get better. Otherwise, you get stagnated. There you go. Otherwise, you get stagnated and end up, maybe in situations like we said with Carr. He didn't have that person behind him to worry him. So if he struggled, what was the big deal? Who was there to replace him?
Yeah, and the thing with Minshew is, I guess what his strength is that he brings to the table is he knows how to adapt to the players around him to be that instant success, like he did with recently with the Colts last year, almost getting them to the playoffs. He wasn't the starter going into that season. It was Richardson. But I get it right this time, yes. Anthony Richardson. I got it right this time. And, once he went down, Minshew, he knew how to adapt to the players around him and the system around him, where he was able to take that team, almost to the playoffs. So that is what he brings, being that veteran, being bounced around from the Jaguars to the Eagles to the Colts. I know I'm missing the team now to the Raiders. But
no, Jaguar, Eagles, and Colts.
I thought that was 5. Okay, I guess it's 4. So
I don't think so.
He has that ability to adapt to the system and the people around him. So I guess that's what his strength is. But O'Connell, being with these guys since last year, basically learning how to time it right in live situations with live bullets. What was the other one?
No, that was all the teams. There was no other team.
Oh, okay.
2014.
Okay. Yeah. So with O'Connell, starting off drafted by the Raiders, learning his timing in the fly with live bullets with Davante Adams in the field in game time situation, with Jacoby Myers, with Michael Mayer, with all these guys, with Tucker, that he learned that was like his only main guy he had continuity with coming out of the preseason. That's why a lot of times when he rolled out, he would find Tucker because he knew Tucker. Everybody else he had to learn on the fly. So with that experience going into the offseason, the OTAs, going into the training camp coming up next week, and then going into the preseason games, O'Connell can turn a lot of heads, and that's what he's saying is that, I
don't sleep on him. He's basically telling, without flat out coming out and saying it, he's saying don't sleep on O'Connell.
Exactly. AOC. Let's go to the O'Connell. Let's go to the last clip.
What do you guys have to do to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs?
We're going to have to win a Super Bowl, for real. I mean, at this point, we beat them the last time we played them. Right. So we went out there day after my birthday, played them on Christmas. And that was a great treat, even though I didn't go out there and have a great game. I was ecstatic. Right. The last time I played in that stadium, it was bad. We lost the game. I was able to step on their neck a little bit, but we lost the game, left the game, and got in trouble. I had a situation happen. Right. So being in there on Christmas with the squad, you're a long way from home. It's cold, and to go in there and beat them in their own stadium, that was a good feeling. But them boys still won the Super Bowl, so they like, okay, you won the battle, but we won the war.
Right.
So we're gonna have to do a little bit more, and I think we got the potential as a team. We just got to put it all together.
So you heard that right?
He's a Christmas
Devonte
Eve
Adams.
baby.
Yes.
He's a Christmas Eve baby, and it was fucking cold.
So you're saying is he's our Jesus, taking us to the promised land, because he said that we're going to win the Super Bowl. That's how I took it. To make that clickbait, Davante Adams says Raiders will win Super Bowl this year.
That's not what he said.
I believe
that's good clickbait. Maybe
that's good clickbait. That's good clickbait
on that, right?
Yes. So, yeah, of course, to dethrone the Chiefs, you have to. Well, I don't necessarily you got to win the Super Bowl. If you want to dethrone the Chiefs off of their NFL pedestal, then yeah, you got to win that Super Bowl.
People from getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but if you take care of business, because we got them twice a year, if you take care of business, especially at home, we still got to beat them in Las Vegas. They won their last Super Bowl in our stadium. Use that as motivation going into this season. That stadium has Chief stench in it, and we have to eradicate.
I'm telling you, the Rich Eisen fucking prediction. You do the Rich Eisen prediction, and that's how you beat the Chiefs right there. Make them the wild card coming to you for the first playoff game in Las Vegas and ruin their three-peat hopes right then and there.
Right then and there, and that's the one thing too is. They're already thinking they're gonna three-peat. It's like in baseball. If a pitcher is throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, you don't talk about it. You don't mention it. You just let fate happen. What they're doing right now is
300. You don't walk up and say, "Oh, you're about to get a 300. Look at that." No.
Yeah. You keep it to yourself, okay? Yeah. And the Chiefs are over here in the parade. Oh, you're gonna go 3P, especially Travis Kelce, because he's hyped up on Taylor Swift. So
he's doing Taylor Swift on cocaine's ass.
Yeah. So they already believe that they're gonna have a 3P, which and you saw it. You saw it last year, trying to repeat their Super Bowl hopes, and of course they did. But when things got a little rocky, when things got a little, out of hand, they unravel. And especially Travis Kelce, he's like that roided up dude, the motherfucker, throwing his helmet all over, yelling at Andy Reid's face on the sideline of the Super Bowl. We saw that.
Kermit's the same way. You put pressure. You don't allow him to do what he wants to do. He gets frustrated and starts throwing fits and all this other shit. Can't throw the ball, everything else. We frustrated him, and that's how we ended up with 2 touchdowns in 7 seconds.
And speaking of that, that's the one thing that I remember watching that game, and I think that game was covered by Jim Nance and why am I forgetting the quarterback for the Cowboys back? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Troy
Jim
Aikman.
Nance, not Troy Aikman, the other one. Tony Romo. There, when Jack Jones got that interception and he was staring down at Mahomes as he ran into the end zone, because you were there. Yeah, you were there. They were like, "Oh, you don't want to poke the bear of Mahomes because he can find a way to turn around and win this game." But you know what? Yeah, you know what? Poke the bear. Poke the bear. See this? Poke the bear. Okay? The only bear that I respect. I'm not saying poke Raider. That's kind of weird to say poke Raider Bear. But Raider Bear is the only one I'm like, don't poke the bear, because Raider Bear will go crazy. Hey, Raider Bear, and I don't want to do his.
Mama Bear might go crazy. Mama
Bear will maul you to death. Okay. Shouts out to Raider Bear and the family. His show will come on about an hour after this one goes off. If we stick to our
Anna, you're 100% right. Oakland Raiders Savage was late on watching it. I turned around and said, I'm not going to tell him, but there's one thing about the whole receivers thing. Let's see if you notice it. And that stands out to everybody. Now, we were on Raider D's. Raider D said,
Wait, time out. Is this a chance for aluminum hats?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Okay. I know it's called the commish files, but the commissioner has his hands on anything and everything that is the NFL. Hold on, shouts out to Ready Bear. Bye, Rick.
The
I don't want to. I can't do it. I don't want to give. I can't give it justice. That's a Ready Bear thing to do. But anyways, okay, Asylum, I'm gonna have you take over the theory. Okay, why in receiver? Because they did talk about a Christmas game when the Niners played their game, and I forget who they played. I don't even care. I fast forwarded all that garbage. But they showed their Christmas game. The Raiders were still in playoff contention because once they beat the Chiefs on that Christmas game, if the Chiefs would have lost the next two games and the Raiders would have won the next two games, the Raiders could have took over the AFC West. So, Asylum, using your laser-focused, psychological, but underneath the protection of the aluminum foil hat, why do you believe that?
We don't need.
Why do you believe that receiver Netflix didn't showcase the Raiders beating the Chiefs game? Because Devonte was in that game.
If you actually watch the credits, there was one specific person that was an executive producer of this show, and it's funny though because he cries a lot when he doesn't get his way.
Oh, that's not him. My bad. My bad. That's not him.
He cries a lot when he doesn't get his way. He doesn't like being touched. That's right. One of the executive producers was Patrick Mahomes. And
don't touch me. Don't touch me.
So, it's funny that, that Patrick Mahomes is an executive producer, and the one game that they're embarrassed about, LeBron James. Hey, that would have been a good second guess. That was a good guess. That was a good guess. But, the one game that they were embarrassed about, which they shouldn't be because we didn't beat them, I don't think they would have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But no, it was Patrick Mahomes. And the one game, every other receiver got all 17 games.
Psychology.
Got all 17 games except for Davante Adams, who only got 16 of his games shown on receivers. Bullshit. Bullshit.
The disrespect is real. And even though this is not a direct hands-on by the commissioner himself, it still falls.
Maybe
I would say it still falls under the umbrella.
Well, no, maybe the commissioner made Netflix make Patrick Mahomes an executive producer.
Because we can't show that the Chiefs' kingdom is crumbling, and they don't want them. They don't want the public to see that the Raiders being they are the last team to beat the Chiefs, and it wasn't no close game where it was a back and forth like that one game in 2020 at home on that Sunday night game when Derek Carr he scored that it was a touchdown, then to come back and the Raiders gave up that Jonathan Abram gave up the slant post route to Kelsey, because he was because Mahomes baited Abrams to run up and left him wide open where he scored and left Derek Carr with 8 or 9 seconds to try to score down the field with no timeouts. It wasn't that kind of game. The Raiders, like you said earlier,
they dominated that game. They showed the weakness. They showed that we have your fucking number. It wasn't, you got lucky. It was a lucky interception here. It was a lucky this. They dominated that whole game. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. Go ahead. They dominated that whole game. I'm trying to see. I know I took it down. But yeah, they dominated that whole game, and they didn't want to show it because it's like, how are you going to show?
If they would have showed that, they would have had to show what happened to the Chiefs, and it would have hurt Patrick Mahomes' feelings again.
It would have hurt him.
Or they're going to have to show Travis Kelce yelling at Andy Reid, and they can't have that because you can't yell at your daddy.
You can't yell at your daddy, okay? I don't care who you are. You can't yell at your daddy. It's not how we roll over here, okay? I'm trying to find. Okay, Vikings. Hold on, we'll just. You know what?
What are you trying to find?
Hold on. No, not yet. But let's. I just need some seconds. Play my Tim Brown. Commercial, please.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life, nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life, fresh goes better. Mentos freshness, fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life. Mentos, the fresh maker.
I love that commercial. So from one video, let's hope I got the right one that's gonna read it.
I just figured it out. We were talking about the Chupacabra, right? We have a Chupacabra on the team. It's Jack Jones.
Jack Jones, the Chupacabra. That's a good one. And
we got Jack Jones. And you know what pisses me off? I wish I would have thought of this. I just had somebody who did an autograph signing with him, and I got an autograph picture of him staring down. I could have had him put on there the Chupacabra.
The Chupacabra. The goat, the goat eater.
Yeah, right? They keep calling Mahomes the GOAT. That's his new nickname. We got to get that started. We got to get it going. We got the Condor and we got the Chupacabra.
The Chupacabra and the Tyredactyl.
And the Tyredactyl, yeah.
Don't forget about the Tyredactyl. Now, hold on. I got it ready now. So I got it ready now because you know what? Everyone who's still here watching, I know that they didn't go and play what happened on Christmas. So let's remind everybody what happened. It's loading right now. When it loads, you can play it. Let's remind everybody who's still in the chats and everything who's still watching what happened. This is the director's cut of receivers, even though you won't see Devonte in there. But we're going to showcase the game for those who forgot. We need to get reminded. So here we go. It's up right now.
Ready?
Go ahead. Yes.
You stand in the line just to hit a new low. You're faking a smile with the coffee to go. You tell me your life's been way offline. You fall into pieces every time, and I don't need no carrying on. 'Cause you had a bad day, you're taking one down. You sing a sad song just to turn it around. You say you don't know, you tell me don't lie. You're working a smile and you go for a ride. You had a bad day, the camera don't lie. You're coming back down and you really don't mind. You had a bad day. You had a bad day.
It's too bad that's missing those two touchdowns in the last 7 seconds, though. Not last 7, in the 7 seconds, the from the defense, the fumble, and then the pick six. But that's still a beautiful video.
When you have a bad day, you have a Mentos. They didn't have one, Elise. Okay. It doesn't matter what comes. Specials. Oh, no, never mind. I left them at home. Never mind. They discontinued Mentos. We can't do it no more. Oh, no. Oh, yes. I love that video. So there you go. There you go. So for those who were like, what happened when the Raiders played the Chiefs?
But there was a receivers moment in there. Patrick Mahomes completed a pass to himself.
There you go. It's like the continuation of quarterback into receiver. So he's like that. It's like in those movies, those Marvel movies, okay? He ties the story together. He went from quarterback to receiver.
Now we know why he was an executive producer.
Yes, because it's
He
like
was
I
able to
can't.
work his way to both fucking shows.
I can't play that I can't have them play that game because I'm in both, and that's just not fair. To me, be quarterback and receiver, I'm not trying to have the spotlight all on me like that. So, you know, I mean, they already had a tight end, and Macaulay Culkin looking dude over there in the Niners. So, oh, I was trying to click it too.
Oh. Yeah, I got the last laugh, and believe it or not, I got more than the last laugh. I pissed off a few people. I had a lady sitting next to me who friggin' at the end of the game, I mean, she kept saying, I paid a lot of money for these tickets. I'm a season ticket holder. So, you know, after those plays like that Jack Jones interception, every time I turn around, we had a big play. I said, I paid a lot of money to see that play right there. By the end of it, she said, I hate your fucking guts, but can I get a picture? And no, I was not even in my gear because fuck Arrowhead. They sent me back twice. I didn't even get to wear my shit. But oh yeah, I even had my own personal security yellow jacket guy.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh, you gonna?
No, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. So no, keep going.
I know, after that interception, when I was right there at the front trying to give Jack Jones some love, all of a sudden they sent me my own private event security. They feared for my safety, I guess.
Your safety. Almost there. Almost there.
Had to be kicked out. Oh, like I said, I got my revenge just because fucking. Oh yeah, I made everyone hate me in that area. I guess there's pictures of me holding a big old flag too, and I don't even remember that part. I might have been a little lubricated during the filming of that show.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's right here. Just in case. Here, I'm gonna do this right here. Let's go like this. Let's do that. Let's go back to the editing room right here. Let's show everyone. Let's show everyone exactly. So and we're gonna keep it on here too, so we won't have to keep looking. But here is every time when Asylum talks about the Kansas City game, he says it because let me go here. He knows because he was there. And if you need more clarification or hard evidence, it's right here.
It's coming.
Right there. That guy in the middle with the epic beard. The other epic beard man, if you're from the Bay Area, there's Asylum right there, right after the Jack Jones interception. I was trying to find the video, but I couldn't find it. But I wanted to make sure everyone know right there. Asylum was there, even though he don't have the jacket, even though he don't have the cage, because they wouldn't let him in there, which I think is discrimination.
No, what made it worse was as I was walking up, I was told by one of the security, "Oh yeah, they saw you. You were being watched."
Yeah.
What did I do? I was trying to play the game. But look at that score right there. What was that? 15-7?
Only in the second quarter. Yes.
Damn.
And he was right there. So when he tells you when AP changed the play, when he changed the game plan for O'Connell, where O'Connell didn't have a completion after the second half or whatever it was, because it was cold. And if you want to know how cold it was, we have him on the show. Asylum was there, right there. You saw him. He was near the area of the playing field.
All I had to do is one little jump, and I'd have been on the fucking field.
Yes, you should have did that. You should have ran. You should have been on there.
I said, fuck you. Won't let me wear my jacket. I'm going to fucking fuck up your game.
This is what happens.
A 20-yard line, and then it caught me too easy.
This is what happens when you don't let me wear my jacket. You're going to see how crazy I am and why I wear the jacket to keep me contained and just take the ball and just run across the field.
I told him the jacket was for their safety. The case for their safety. No, those can be used as weapons.
They don't sell Budweiser. They sell White Claw. So now, going back to Devonte Adams, and they didn't talk about this in the Shay Shay Club Shay Shay interview because it was irrelevant. But the Niners receiver Brandon Ayuk has been, he requested a trade from the Niners, and I guess people are throwing the idea of what if, because AP has familiarity with Ayuk back in college, what if the Raiders trade Davante Adams to the Niners for Brandon Ayuk? Now,
what do we got to give up?
Well, a lot of folks, it's not a lot of folks, but I've seen where people try to tie in Devonte Adams like a player swap. And I know the Niners are going to want more. Now, you give him Devonte Adams, give him a veteran receiver, but they're going to want a little more. And that's what I am not saying that we should do it. I'm just saying is there has been talks and people out there, I guess, I don't know. It's like people love to use Devonte Adams as currency to get players to the team, or it's like you either want to make him happy or you want to make yourself happy. Devonte Adams is like
anymore.
It's like Devonte Adams is a piece of meat. He's going to pass him around. It's not what he is. Okay, grew up in the Bay Area, man. He's a Raider fan, and now he's a Raider man. Shout out to Raider Man 19. He is a Raider player. He wears number 17 in the silver and black, and he's dedicated to his teammates. So what do you have to say to, I guess, a clickbait rumor? People trying to start a fire out there of Devonte Adams for Ayuk. What is your thoughts on that?
I want what they're smoking. I mean, we don't get that kind of shit out here in Kansas. There's no way in hell I'm trading Adams for Ayuk. No way. I mean, fuck. Ayuk was apparently the third best receiver on the fucking Niners because he didn't even make it on receivers. They put the tight end on there before they put Ayuk on there. No, man, they got to be smoking some really good shit. They must have come out with some new, I've been out of the game a little bit. I don't know what it is in there, I don't know if the dabs are still safe. Man, they must have found some way to crystallize this shit. You shove it up your asshole, and, it like instantly hits you, and it's like 12 times stronger than. That's fucking crazy. Adding Ayuk to Adams and a Jacoby Myers, that could give you that would probably give you the best wide receiving core in the NFL. But there's no way in hell I'm trading in Ayuk for Adams.
Now, the question came because my sister, I don't want to out, but her boyfriend is a Niner fan, and I guess I don't know if he told my sisters to ask them to see what they think about that possible scenario. Not that it's impossible; it's not going to happen. But just like let's think, hypothetically speaking, what if? And I'm saying no, like you said, not with Devonte Adams. And I'm not suggesting this, and I'm just saying is it'd probably make more sense if it was like a Tucker and some draft picks, because the Niners are going to want some draft picks too.
Tucker in a fucking third rounder, and I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't even be happy with that. I wouldn't even be happy with that. I wouldn't even get rid of Tucker. I'll give him fucking Gallup and a second rounder.
A Gallup? A guy we just signed like 8 hours ago.
I'm not even getting rid of Tucker because Tucker's speed. No.
Okay. How about this? Now, I suggest things just for the argument.
Just to get a reaction out of me. That's what you try to do.
Yeah. So, can a Brandon Ayuk, can he fit? because people want to, because they see the skill, they see the talent, they see the speed, whatever. But it's like, but can he fit not just in the system, but with this core, with this locker room? Can he fit? Because I mean, I know they said that he wants to trade because he didn't get a lot of targets in the Super Bowl, and then they ended up losing the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. I do believe that's because your head coach, Shanahan, if you've seen him all the way back to the Falcon years, 28-3. Okay, that's all you got to say. But if you go, Ayuk, who is how long has he been in the league? A couple years, like three,
something like that. Yeah,
and he's already trying to get a trade. Can he become a cancer in the locker room? Or and I'm not saying, well, just because a player wants a certain thing doesn't make him a bad guy. No, I'm not saying that, but you're on a good team right now. Now, unless, okay, yeah, you're not happy and you want to be the guy, okay, I can see that. But
you want to be the number one, but you know what? You got to prove yourself. I mean, first of all, I got a problem with the first name. Okay, I see Brandon. It's Let's Go Brandon. We all know what that fucking means. Okay, I don't know if I could chant that, but I mean, yeah. That aside, if you're complaining about targets now and you're going onto a team, let's say they do trade Tucker, but you're going onto a team with a Devonte Adams, a Jacoby Myers, a Brock Bowers, a Michael Mayer. Where the fuck are you going to get your targets from? You might even get less targets coming here because of what you got. You want to cry? I agree with the cancer aspect of the thing, because all you're going to do is cry. And I hope he likes my comment or my answer, I should say. But, you know, I mean, you're going to get, if you're bitching about targets, you're going to go to a team that's probably going to give you the same amount, if not less. You know, I just, and then if they didn't give up Tucker, and you got Tucker who's faster than fucking, you know, Ayuk, then hell, even on Raider D show, what was the name? Guyan?
Oh, Guyton.
Guyton, there you go, thank you. You got Guyton, who's even faster than Tucker, so he has an opportunity to get on the field and get the ball. What are you going to be? You're going to be 3C? Wide receiver 3C? I mean, you're just going to cry and complain. The Raiders are not the fit for him. He might be able to fit in the system, but with the talent that's here, he's not going to get the ball. And if you're crying about getting the ball now with the 49ers, I mean, you're crying about getting the ball. I mean, you had Deebo Samuels. You got the ball when he was hurt. Fucking outwork Deebo Samuels. Outwork your tight end, George Kittle. If you can't outwork those two, stop complaining about the reps you get and take what you can get.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying is it's not a fit. Yeah, okay, you're adding a dynamic player, but it has to not only fit the system, but fit the locker room. It has to make sense. Money wise, who you're going to give up wise, because even though we have a lot of cap room, we can still use that money to, like we had said a couple episodes ago, give that money to extend Kuntz, give that money to extend, Jack Jones in a couple years, give that money to extend, who else do we got?
Diablo.
The defense, the Diablo, and
Nate Hobbs.
Yes, for sure.
How about like we brought up a few shows ago? How about the offensive line that's going to be basically decimated the year after this?
Yeah.
Why not use that money to extend a couple of those guys? Hell, why not extend Robert Spillane?
How about extend our show and give us some money, okay?
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I didn't think that was an option, but yeah. Hey, and we're cheap. We'll do it for a couple mil.
Yeah, a couple mil, yeah. That's it, It's not like we're asking for a big bank, just give me that and some season tickets and I'll be happy. But if I get season tickets, I'm going to be using them. I'm not going to sell them.
I'm not going to sell them like some people.
overprice it just to get money. I'm not trying to make a profit by the Raiders. I will work for them though.
I'll be there. Oh, I'll take their money, but
Yeah. So and you know what? We have a good right here. See, we have a good receiving core right now with the veteran Adams, with the up and coming Adams calls him the secret weapon of the NFL. The best kept secret of the NFL in Jacoby Myers.
I wouldn't even call him up and coming. Trey Tucker would be the up and coming.
Yeah,
Guyton would be the up and coming. But I agree with the best kept secret for Jacoby Myers.
Yes,
I definitely agree with that one. I think up and coming are the other two. And maybe Gallup resurrects his career with us, and we see where we go from there. I don't expect him to be on the team. I'll say it here now. He's going to be not cap casualty, but a
camp body.
Maybe an early training camp casualty, but he's not making the team. I don't see him making the team. I think it's just a depth kind of move just to see if he maybe still has it.
Maybe still has it. Well, we're going to debunk that trade rumor and say it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If you go and see these videos of Devonte Adams for Ayuk, don't click on it. Don't waste your time. Or time, you can get money back, but time never comes back. And don't waste your time with that.
You got to let me know how he responded to my response. I don't know why, but I'm kind of curious to see what.
Yeah, and you know what, Rick? When we played the Patriots and Chandler Jones got that interception, backwards pass, fumble, whatever. Yes, he was showcasing his arm that he can play quarterback, and you saw that.
If I remember correctly, didn't he throw 2 touchdowns last year for the Raiders?
Yes, and one of them was to
Davante Adams.
To Davante Adams. So it all ties back to Davante Adams, and he's not going to the Jets. He's not going to the Niners.
He's not going to the fucking Niners. I can tell you that much.
And it's all Raiders from here. We're all just going crazy because we know Raider football is coming, and it's coming fast, and we're ready, and we're just going crazy, man. We just want some Raider football. So that's all that is. Just relax. Training camp is next week.
Not soon enough.
Yes. And, we had another show. We actually had a show written out and everything for this week, for tonight. So it's going to get postponed, of course, because we didn't do it. But we will try to bring that next week. We're taking not candidates. Well, I guess so. Now we're taking applications. If you are pro Minshew, email us at, was it the cage match at Yahoo? Is that what it is?
Oh, no, at Gmail. Let me look.
How do we not know our own website?
The Cage Match Show at gmail.com.
The Cage Match Show at gmail.com. If you are pro Minshew and you are not afraid of the camera, let us know. And we'll put you on next show. Well, we're only getting one candidate, Kay. Key words here, Kay. So, yeah, so that's what we're trying to do. But until then, today's show was built, like in that Lego movie where Lego builders and show. So that's what we're doing.
We're master builders.
Master builders. And next week, master debaters. Hey, no. So that is our look at we're keeping it under the 2-hour mark, and there you go. So
hey, don't ruin it here now.
Don't ruin it. We're gonna close this show out on time, or you're gonna get this man in the middle upset right there. All right, well, so now since we have a little bit of time, oops, what am I doing? Since we have a little bit of time, let's kind of go run through our. Let's run through our shameless plug real quick one more time. You want to do it? Or want me to do it?
You can do it.
All right, I'll do it this time. Okay, I'll close it out. All right, I'm the closer here.
You close it out. You're not the closer. I'm usually the closer. It's okay.
I'll
let you talk this time.
I'll do the Isringhausen K. That's old school A's right there. Go to, if you're watching this on Facebook, whether it's now or later, because we know we get a lot of people who watch it after the fact, and we appreciate that you guys watch our show when you have time, and we're all about convenience here at the Cage Match Show. But if you do get a chance, go to YouTube to the channel, The Cage Match Show, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us, have them go and like, share, subscribe, and have them go. It's a pyramid scheme. Okay, I'm gonna let you know right now it's a pyramid scheme. That's what we're trying to do. But you know, if you catch us on Facebook, on my page, the Oakland Raiders Savage on Facebook.
Hit the bell so you know when videos drop.
Oh yeah, hit the bell because we are 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific-ish. We usually start 15 minutes after because we want to make sure that everyone.
It's like Mountain. We just found out there's a Mountain time.
And Mountain at 6 p.m. So we say 5, but we want to make sure everyone's there in their seats. They got the popcorn ready. They got their Hot Pockets ready, you know, and they're ready for another episode of the Cage Match. So make sure you go there and hit the bell when you know that we're about to go on live. We do it every Wednesday evening. We haven't missed a Wednesday since last year, episode 52 weeks in the year. Thank you very much. We did it 1 year. And also, the W, go to WDG. Go to W.G.
Oh, wrong kind of W.
D-O-double-G. Go to W.GG and go into discount, you know, get your order. Go to the discount code, put Cage Match, one word, 10% off your order. And like I always say, when you think of wins, because we're going to get a whole lot of them, you're going to think of dubs, which we're going to get a whole lot of them, which will make you think of Dubby, and hopefully will make you order a lot of them.
You get a whole lot of that.
Dubby.gg, Cage Match, in the discount code, have energy, like Max Crosby. And shouts out to the Compa Fabian, www.rn4lifer.com, RaiderNationForLifer.com. Get your merch made and produced and distributed and all those big words you learned in high school. It's a long time ago. And go there to his website and check out what he has in his catalog. You're not going to be disappointed. He has a lot of gear, and he has a lot, even got chains and all that, whatever. And like I say, I only wear hats. Let me focus on me right now. I only wear hats made by the man himself, Raider Nation for Life, Fabian, right there. All right, and also remember, go to RaiderMan19.com and get your merch from him. The Oath merch. We play the Oath at the end of our intro because that's like our national anthem, and we want to make sure that we're trying to find a way to get him up to the torch and do that oath in front of 65,000 people right there at the window. Hopefully it's open so all of Las Vegas can hear, I am a Raider fan. Okay, that's what we're trying to do.
We want all 65,000 screaming, I
am
a Raider fan.
So that's what we're trying to do. So make sure you go to his website, RaiderMan19.com. Shout out to Raiderman because him starting in for me a couple times, you know, personal reasons. Me and my sister, we know.
He had to tag in to help out. It's all good.
He came in and he put it down in the cage match. So shouts out to Raiderman. And that is our show for today. We thank those who watched us and enjoyed the show. Because like I said, we put it together in 2 hours because the plans that we did have didn't fall through. And for those who are going to be part of that show, we hope that everything works out and, you know, it's all good. We'll make it work next time. So with that said, thank you everybody for continuing on. We got you, Anna. We're going to get your prize. And Rick, the MVP of last week. Shouts out to Rick. He was in the chats all throughout the. Oh, here, see, even he's already ready for the next for the show right there. Oh, sorry, for the next the closing video, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
For the end of the show.
You know what I'm trying to say. Mahalo for the awesome show. Jen's got to go. Catch up later. Thank you very much, Rick, in Hawaii, where my family is from. So, all right, then. Any last words? Asylum.
Nope. Had fun. Here's to a year, 52 episodes. Here's to another year of hopefully having fun and everyone enjoying the show.
And remember, all right, that's the wrong place.
And remember, we're not going anywhere. Oh, that's too deep. We're not going anywhere. We're going to still continue to bring you content every Wednesday. Raider Nation for life. Oh, yeah. Dig it.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight. Again, I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.